Hey everybody, we're in Wally World. Don't go away. Hey gang, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, I'm at Wally World. I know, it's a weird way for me to start a video, but here we are nonetheless, and we're heading back to the camp section. So let's go back, and I'll tell you what we're doing today. Okay, so first I want to apologize for the shakiness of the video. I don't normally do stuff on the road like this, so I don't have one of those fancy deal-em-a-boppers that will steady the video. I'll do my best in post-production to try and smooth this out for you guys. But for now, we'll assume it's going to be shaky. And hopefully you don't start throwing up or something like that. Okay, I'm in the camp section, and I haven't looked for these here at this particular Walmart before. And what I'm looking for is tier 2 of my food storage setup. I'll show you that as soon as I find it. Is this it? Oh, right here. Okay. All right, let's turn you around here. Okay, so here we are. This is what I'm here for. These are what I'm calling my second tier food stash items. And these are freeze-dried meals by a company called Mountain House. Now, when we get home with some of these, I'll explain more about why I'm choosing Mountain House, what these are, and why they're fitting into my food setup. But so for right now, all we got to do is just pick out some flavors. I don't think I have any chicken fried rices, so maybe a couple of those. Ooh, chicken teriyakis. Huh? I'm gonna get 3 of those so I can eat one for you. Oh, and then maybe a couple of these granolas. Okay, a few granolas. And look, there's more up there. And then they also have the adventure kit there for Mountain House, which is it's got a granola, a breakfast skillet, a beef stroganoff, 2 beef stroganoffs, and 2 chicken and rices. So that's a nice little kit. All right, and then you have emergency food ration bars. Got these weird ice cream sandwiches. I don't know about those. But here you've got desserts and pizzas. That's Backpacker's Pantry vegetarian meal. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you is these freeze-dried meals by Mountain House. And what we're going to do is we're going to head on home, and I'm going to tell you more about them, and we're going to eat one and see what we think. So let's head home. So it's not really a part of this video, but I bought this pot, this little kettle here. And it's a conduction or an induction, induction, right? Yeah. It's an induction kettle. It boils water so fast, it's not even funny. And I'm going to put a link on my Amazon shop at www.amazon.com/shop/Paul Udelis. I'm going to put a link for this pot because it's pretty amazing. So again, okay, I'll do it down here so you can see better, okay? We just take and tear it at the notch. Okay. And we open it up and we can take a look inside. Okay, here's the oxygen excluder. Do not eat, okay? And it basically sucked all the oxygen out of that pouch. Okay, so here it is. Here's the beef stew. Okay, can you see that? I want to make sure you're getting a good look at that. Right now, it looks a lot like dog kibble. I'm just being honest. It's got a little bit of a beefy smell to it. No, I'm not. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I thought about tasting a piece of freeze-dried food, but I just can't do it. So there it is. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to add 1 3/4 cup of water. Now I've heard people say that the water recommendations for these meals is too much, and it gets to be really wet. And some people suggest reducing that down. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll make it exactly the way they say it. And in the instructions, they tell you that if it's too wet, you can actually just dump it off after you're done. Now, be careful when you're stirring with your spoon, okay, so that you don't puncture the bag. I've heard of that happening. Okay, it already looks so much better. Okay, so there we have it. And I will zip this shut. Okay. All right, almost set it. Okay, so what did I say it said to do? It said to 5 minutes. Okay, we'll start off a little 5-minute timer. There we go. Okay, so let me move this. I'm going to get rid of this, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, did you miss me? All right, so yes, I may have in my life, I may have eaten some freeze-dried food. I don't know that I have or have not. So we're going to say that this is a first for me. But, you know, there's a lot of advantages to these over MRE. So I'm going to talk about that right now. Why am I choosing these as the building blocks if I like MREs so much? Well, okay, you see, this is just a pouch of beef stew. That's all it is. You don't get all the side dishes and ancillaries and all these other things. This is what it is. But first of all, you have to love the stability of these things. 25 years, that's a long time. And so I'm all about that. But because it's freeze-dried, that means all the water is gone out of it. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of details, but the water is gone. And so water is really heavy. By far, it is the heaviest part of this meal. You should see the difference in its weight from when I started to just now. Okay, a huge difference. So yeah, you take all that weight of the water out. That's why these are so popular with backpackers. I just had a thought. No, I don't. Okay. But that's why these are so popular with backpackers that it's very, very light. You're going backpacking for the weekend. You can throw 6 or 8 of these in your backpack and you'll never even know you've got them with you. MREs, 6 or 8 MREs, let me tell you, it weighs a lot, okay? You don't want to be backpacking with 8 MREs stuck to your back. So you have the weight, you have the shelf life of these things, and by all measures, I understand the food is very tasty, okay? We're going to find out, okay? I'm not going to make any assumptions. I got to tell you, let me tell you something about myself. I'm a fussy eater, and so I'm a little nervous going into any of these eating things. But I really need to know if the stuff is any good because I'm counting on this to carry me through a bad time, okay? And I don't want it compounded by having to choke down some god-awful food, okay? I want something that's going to be tasty enough to keep me happy. And to that end, when I get into my whole plan, I'll talk more about how I intend to make food really work for me. But yeah, so those are just a few of the reasons why I think I'm going to go with freeze-dried food as my building blocks. Um, and okay, so let's say I need to leave. My plan is to shelter in place. I'm planning to survive at home. But let's say I do have to bail out. Okay. Um, in addition to some MREs, I've got a couple 72-hour packets. Uh, enough of this stuff to last me 72 hours. So I can grab some MREs, some of these, throw them in the car, and I'm on the way. Now, a drawback, you saw it, almost 2 full cups of water, hot water, okay? I don't know how well these would go over using just tap water or cold water. Whereas an MRE, you can tear it open and eat it just like it is. Now, it's not as much fun, and if you want it hot, the flameless ration heater does need water, but it needs maybe a quarter of a cup of water. So, you know, big difference there. Okay, that was 5 minutes. So now it says to open it, stir again, and then reseal. Okay. So I'm going to open it up. There we go. Oh, it's definitely not too wet. And you, despite, it's really hot. Okay, the hot water thing works. Despite wanting to not poke a hole in the bottom, you need to get to the bottom because all the flavors and stuff tend to congeal down at the bottom. Let me take a quick smell. Okay, it's starting to look and smell better. Okay, it's definitely thickening up. All right, so there we go. And now it says to let stand for an additional 4 minutes. So we'll click the 5 and turn it off in 4. So you see, it's not too difficult to make. You know, I have high hopes for this. And like I said, to be able to run to Walmart, you can buy kits. Okay, Walmart even has some of the kits. So you can buy kits to kind of get you started, but then after that, at Walmart, you can pick and choose and buy these packs individually right off their rack. So you can pick the flavors that you like the best. So I'm going to get ready to eat. I'm going to set the table, if it were, as it were. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Off. Okay. There we go. All right. So there we got that. You know, it's funny because I don't consider myself a prepper. I consider myself somebody who was able to look at what happened with COVID-19 and the panic buying and all of that stuff and thinking to myself, man, if it was any worse, how bad would it have gotten? Because it got pretty bad with just COVID-19. And I'm not taking a side on COVID-19 or playing it down or playing it up. I'm just saying, I think it's something we can all agree on, is that COVID-19 would have been so much worse. I don't think anybody could disagree with that statement. It could have been so much worse, and yet we still had panic buying. We had scalpers buying everything up so that they could try and gouge people for toilet paper. It got so bad, we fractured our supply chains. Okay? What if it had been worse? Where would we be at then? Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine where we would be at then. All right? It would have been a nightmare. So that really has me thinking in terms of being prepared. And, you know, this is just some of the stuff I have found out on my own. And I'm sure a lot of more experienced people who have been doing preparations are going to scoff at the things I'm doing. But I'm never going to build a bomb shelter in my backyard. And I'm probably not going to buy a generator that can run for a month, and I'm probably not gonna get 2 years worth of food stored up. I'm not gonna have entire uh, water purification systems. I'm probably not gonna do some of those things. Um, I'm trying to take prudent measures. Like, okay, little did we know that dog food was going to be a hot commodity, but it was. And so I now have an extra bag of dog food, it's 30-pound bag of dog food. I might get another one. And an extra pallet of canned dog food. And then I'll just, every time we need dog food, I'll open one up, fill it, and replace at the back with the other dog food so that my dogs are taken care of. I'm going to deal with water and heat and shade and yes, food, but at probably certainly what real preppers would laugh at levels. Okay, that's just how I'm going to roll. Okay, so all right, that's been the additional 4 minutes. Let me just double check. Okay, open it, add the water, stir carefully, wait 5 minutes, stir carefully, wait 5 minutes, stir again. Reseal, let stand an additional 4 minutes, stir and enjoy right out of the pouch. Okay, now yes, I could eat right out of the pouch, but I'm not going to because I want you to be able to see the stew. All right, so in the pouch, it's still, I mean, come on, it doesn't look that great. But in future videos, I'm going to show you things that you could do with this to really actually spice this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this out. It does not look terrible. There's a lot here. Not going to be able to eat all this, okay? And there's no way I'm going to be able to get my wife. It will have to be a true disaster before I'll be able to get her to try this. But imagine this, okay? So I see potatoes and peas and carrots and little cubes of beef. Imagine if you have a nice big bag of beans or some rice with this. Imagine what it would be like served over some rice or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's give this a taste and see what we think. That's not bad. That's not okay, and maybe that's a bad way to say it because it's better than not bad. Let's do this. Let's try and get individual pieces. Piece of meat. Wow. Wow. Okay, first of all, as a whole, it's actually pretty tasty. And the beef has the texture and the chew of real meat, which it is. It's real meat. I feel like I took a piece of like a London broil or something and cubed it up into little tiny cubes and was eating it. So really impressive there. So let's get some potatoes. Now, some of the potatoes have a little bite to them in the middle, a little snap. but it's just texture, and it's not a bad texture. These. Same thing with the peas. They taste just like a frozen pea. Absolutely, just like a frozen pea. Carrot. Now, I didn't expect much from the carrots. I mean, what's a canned carrot taste like? Okay, here's where I'm at. As a whole, very tasty. I would eat this. I would eat this as a meal. I would do things to it. Maybe a lot of pepper. I like spicy stuff. A lot of pepper or some Cholula. Maybe even a little bit of salt. But as it is, I'm absolutely fine with it right like it is. Okay, it's tasty. It's good. The meat, surprisingly, tooth feel meat, taste meat. It's real meat, and it tastes right and it feels right. Potatoes and carrots, we're gonna lump them together. What do you expect in taste from potatoes and carrots? They're kind of bland, filler type material, and that's what you get. You do get a little bit of a snap to them, like a little bit of a chew. So like maybe they needed to steep a little longer. And frankly, if I was out after I rehydrated this, I would probably cook it in a pot and get it really hot and do some things to it. The peas taste like I just boiled them out of a bag of frozen peas, and yeah, they taste like a pea, absolutely. So absolutely fantastic. Um, this is one meal that I will keep a lot of on hand because it's very tasty, and I wouldn't hesitate to eat this in a second. I wouldn't, not even 1 second. I would love to be able to have a roll here and a big thing of rice or beans and some condiments with it, but I didn't want to mess up the experience. The experience is that one pouch envelope, and it's fantastic, and I'm really happy with it. So far, Mountain House, two thumbs and 2 fingers up. Okay. Oh, hey, it makes a W for winner. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoy it, and this is definitely going to be a permanent part of my food storage. Is I'm going to put at least a lot of Mountain House beef stew in my personal storage. So anyhow, I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you did, give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my meal videos. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I love to hear from you guys. And this is the perfect topic for us to chat back and forth about. All right, that's going to do it. I'm going to finish my lunch and get out of here. So until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.